Okay, I'm going to try to show you sidechain compression in under a minute in Ableton. I have this pad, this sustaining pad. Let's listen to it. I want it to kind of pump up and down based on the input from the kick, that classic dance music style effect. I'm going to drop this glue comp right on the pad that I want to attenuate. And if you click the down arrow, you get this extra set of options. And one of them is sidechain. Click it. Turn that on, engage it. And now it's going to ask you what element in this mix do you want to use as the input that's going to trigger attenuation based on whatever your threshold is. So I want it to be the kick. 4 on the floor, super simple. It's going to work. If I press play, we're going to hear initially nothing. And as I dial back the threshold, we're going to hear it doing its thing. So let's listen to it actually soloed, starting here. You can adjust attack, release, to create either more subtle effects or more dramatic ones based on your settings. So I'm going to leave it there and let's listen to it in the context of the mix. The idea here is you're creating more space for the kick and for any other element that you want to use as a trigger in a mix like this. Another way you can do this is, or let's say you want an arrangement where you don't actually want the trigger to be heard. You just want to create this pumping effect. You can create a kick like this, 4 on the floor, and send the audio to nowhere. Just send it nowhere. Now, if you solo it, you don't hear anything. Let's jump there because it's going nowhere. But, however, it's still routed as the input for the sidechain, so it's still going to cause this effect. In the mix. So it still works depending on what it is you're trying to do. Let's bring back the kick. Okay, so last way you can do this, and one of the, I guess, better ways to do this for multiple elements in a mix is, let's say I want to attenuate this section, maybe the bass here, this hi-hat, and this weird little melody. Let's listen for a second. So if I want to attenuate all of these and use the same pumping effect, the bad way to do this is to just copy and paste this compressor to all of those layers. But that's going to take up a lot of CPU. It's also just kind of a messy way to do this. The best way to do this is to create a return track. Let's rename this return track Sidechain, so I know exactly what is happening. And I'm going to send all the layers that I want to attenuate to this sidechain. So I want to attenuate that bass with the long decay. I want to attenuate the hi-hats, the string pad thing, and this little melody. Now, as it is, I have this signal coming out of all 4 of these. They're going to the sidechain and getting summoned into this layer, but they're also going to the master. So you're going to have this mix of the dry effect, or the dry audio, and the affected audio playing at the same time. It's not what I want, so I'm going to press audio to sends only, meaning there is no dry signal going to the master. We're only going to hear the output from our send. So now all 4 of these are getting summed here, which means if I just move this comp over to the sidechain layer, now this is going to sidechain all 4 of these based on the input that I set, which is the kick. Let's listen. So that's it. That's the simple way to do this. Mess with the different settings. If you want something more subtle based on the genre, then keep that threshold high, make that needle bounce just a little bit. If you really want something dramatic, squash it, make it extreme. Totally up to you. Hope that helps.